Hey everybody. All right, in this video, let's talk about, is Disneyland a locals park? We've heard this so many times in the fan community. Me myself, I've done this as well. I've called it a locals park, but I wanted to kind of deep dive into this. Okay, is it a locals park? Is it really a locals park? And in my opinion, after really thinking about it, no. Disneyland is not a locals park. And I know a lot of you are thinking, well, but Orange Grove, I mean, it's all these annual pass holders. I mean, how could it not be a locals park? Okay, so this is my mindset. In order to be a locals park, in my opinion, it needs to be a park that sort of, services a certain area. Okay, it was built and designed for a certain community, a certain region. Okay, a perfect example of this would be like Knott's Berry Farm, right? That's a very localized park. Knott doesn't do a lot of advertising outside of Southern California. It's very much a locals park. Same goes for a lot of like these regional Six Flags parks. And I don't know the names. Bear with me. I'm just kind of, it's like Six Flags over Houston, Six Flags over Branson, Missouri. You get the gist of it, right? Those kind of parks are regional. They were designed and built for the people of that region. Okay. You're not going to see very many ads for Six Flags over Missouri in Florida or in New York or in Washington or Oregon. You're just not, because it's not about the other states. It's about that particular region. That is what I consider a locals park, right? Disneyland is the antithesis of a locals park. Disneyland, in the opening day speech by Walt Disney, said he hopes that Disneyland will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world. Walt Disney would host, heads of state, prime ministers, presidents, people from around the world came to visit Disneyland, and they still do. Okay, there isn't a person on this planet. You can go to any country in the world, Russia, England, whatever. Okay, anywhere in the world, they all know about Disneyland in California. Local parks do not have that kind of, recognizable status. Okay, they just don't. Go to Russia or go to China or Japan and ask them about Knott's Berry Farm and see how many people actually know what that even is. It's not going to be many. It's not going to be many. But go to those same places and ask about Disneyland. Almost near everybody will know what Disneyland is. Okay, so Disneyland, in my opinion, is not, by definition, not a locals park. Now, demographics and company policy plays a role, though, in the extremely high number of annual pass holders. Okay, so what I mean by demographics, California is different than Florida. Okay, Florida has a lot of tourism already. Really, even before the theme parks, and they have a lot of what we call snowbirds. And what snowbirds are, if you're not familiar, are basically people that live, like, say, in colder atmosphere, like New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, right? What they do is they have like a winter home, and so during the winter months in like New York or wherever they usually live, they'll come down to Florida and stay in their Florida home for those winter months to kind of ride out that terrible winter. That's a snowbird. Florida has a lot of those. California really doesn't. California is more like, you move to California and you just stay put. That's the California life. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. And I think those two different cultures, those two different state cultures, are part of the reason why we're seeing the different demographics at each resort. Florida is it's more vacation-y, it's more snowbirdy, it's more, so you're going to have more passerbys, right? People coming through temporarily for a few months or a few weeks, where California, you really set up shop and you stay here. So there is more of that local fan base here in Southern California. So I think that plays a part in the demographics for both resorts. I definitely think that plays a huge, huge role. Also, it's the Walt Disney Company. The Walt Disney Company, and I'm going to be a little bit critical here, they don't seem to have a whole lot of faith in Disneyland Resort as a tourist destination, and I don't know why. They really missed the mark in 2001 with California Adventure. It was a half-day park at best. It was done on the cheap. And so I think Disney got kind of freaked out with that. They didn't want to. They thought, oh, okay, well, the resort thing isn't working in California, so we'll just kind of fall back on being, just for annual pass holders. And I think that was a bad decision, to be quite honest with you. I think there is a thirst and a hunger for people of other states and other countries to come here to the original Disney park. And I think it's a miscalculation on Disney's part to assume that there's no interest out there outside of California. So I think if Disney actually marketed Disneyland like they market Walt Disney World as a tourist destination, and were more friendly to people coming in from other states and other countries, and really marketing that, pushing that hard, I think you would see more of it. I really, really do. But Disney doesn't do that, and they haven't done that really since California Adventure flopped in the early 2000s. Even when that resurgence of DCA came and the reimagining in 2012, they still kind of stuck to that annual pass kind of model, right? They've never gotten out of it. And I think if they were to step out of that, I think you would see a lot more out-of-state people. Look, Disneyland is an icon. Disneyland is one of the most recognizable places on the planet. There is an interest from people around the world to come here. It's not a locals park. It never has been a locals park. Okay. It's not Knott's Berry Farm. It's not Six Flags Over Houston. It's none of that. And again, there's nothing wrong with being a locals park, but it's just, that's not what Disneyland is. It just isn't. So those are my thoughts on it. It's not a locals park. I think company policy has sort of created the annual pass holder surge, especially the monthly payments for the annual passes. That was a huge factor. So I don't think it's really the place. I think it's more company policy, and really the different states, the different cultures of each state. California, you set up shop and you stay here. Florida is more of a snowbird situation, a lot more back and forth in Florida. So they're just different situations. But what are your thoughts on this? I really, really, really want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on Disneyland? Is it a locals park? Is it not a locals park? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Thank you all so much for watching. And as always, have a magical day. Bye-bye.